Hey guys, this is Drew Whatever, and today I have completed the $500 to $100,000 challenge. Now, if you've been with me from the very beginning, thank you so much. I appreciate you following along with the journey, and I am over the moon that this is even possible. Back when I started this journey, I didn't think that any of this was possible. I thought that, it might be a long time. I started this account in, my Roth in February of 2020. And then I've only invested about $12,000 to $13,000 in my entire account career. Now, to say that is pretty incredible. The whole increase has been 722%. You can do the math. I'll show you the figures there, show you the proof. But it's wild. I didn't think that I would ever get to $100,000. But let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the results. Let's do all that, and then I guess we're gonna have to start a new challenge. So let's look at it. All right. So looking at the year to date, this is just from January to now. I have made 180%, which is quite crazy just considering everything. The 1 year, so July to July, has been 332%, which is insane. So I think about this time last year, it was at $33,000. My math is probably really bad. Let's look. 5 year, 721%, and then that all time is 722%. This is unreal. I don't want to say this is normal because it is not. In doing this, I chose really good stocks, I took gambles on really good stocks that I knew, like Palantir, Cameco, CCJ, like Hood. I actually made some money on the Hood, despite my grudge with them, and Rocket Lab. Those have been my big performers of all time. Let's look at the stocks right now. All right. So looking at this is obviously a screenshot, but this is it right now. It makes it easier for me to edit in the end. That way you're not seeing my account number. It doesn't really make sense because I won't get into it. But here are my all-time returns for these positions that I have. I had puts or had calls on Rocket Lab over $41. So I did lose some money, quote unquote. I didn't really lose money. I did make money on them, but I didn't make as much as I could. I sold that. That's why you see the buying power is 800 or 8,824. I will likely roll those into leaps for Rocket Lab if they ever take a tumble. Or I could just leave it there for security. I don't know. Palantir, that call has done very well. We're at 217%. And my put, I kind of need to roll that out pretty soon, get rid of that. And then the Rocket Lab call, the 3 contracts that I have, we're sitting at 171. At one point, I had another contract. I think it was like $7 calls of that, and it got up to like 400, 500%. Rocket Lab has done very well for me this year, or this past year, since October when I picked it up. It's just been phenomenal. That's really one that God has just been like, hey, you should look into this. And I did. And I got it in the right time, and it just flew. Same with Palantir. Like over the years, I found Palantir and really, really invested in Palantir and really believed in Palantir. And I wish when I was younger, I was able to put more money in, but this is where I'm at. I'm at $100,000 in my Roth. I really can't complain. Today, these are what the numbers are right now. So those Palantir calls are $73 a piece, which is insanity. So overall, they're worth $74,000, which is a big portion of my account. One would say that's a big risk. I don't know. I think they're $1 trillion company, so I'll probably just hold that and then have this side income with the Rocket Lab. With Rocket Lab, they're sitting at $51.39, which is crazy when you consider in October or September of last year, they were sitting at like $5 $7. Yeah, I think they were $7 when I started looking at them. And then the puts there. It is just so crazy to me that I've gotten to $1,000. So I think the next step would be $1 million, and hopefully that takes a lot longer. We will see. I'll probably have to invest into some different companies because Palantir is getting close to, I think they're at $250,000 or $250 billion company. So that's a 4x from here. So I'm not sure how much 214, 217 can multiply, but I think at this time, probably in January, I'll probably roll those in, probably get 10 contracts. I guess I could do it now because they've been kind of sitting steady around the 150 mark for a little bit. Don't want to jinx it. But thank you guys so much for following along the journey. I really don't know what to say. Thank you for all the comments, all the subscribers that I've got. And this is just a testament that if you put your mind to it, if you learn from your mistakes, I did make a few mistakes if you go back in it, that if you learn from your mistakes, you can be a good investor, you can make some money, and you can go from here. Inevitably what's going to happen tomorrow is the market will tank, and that I'll go down to $70,000, but that's a risk. It's always a risk, but thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you guys at $1 million or wherever we're at.